54 seconds ago.
Is there a timeline to get Hamas to disarm?
It's not a hard timeline, but it's a line in my own mind. And at a certain point, if they
So
don't
he's just going to make it up.
do what they're supposed to do, then we'll have to do it for them.
These guys just cannot fucking stop blowing each other up.
Alert: Israel conducting an airstrike in Gaza overnight, saying that Hamas terrorists attacked Israeli troops on the ground there. Fox News alert: Israel conducting an airstrike in Gaza overnight, saying that Hamas terrorists attacked Israeli troops on the ground there.
Israel is calling it a bold violation of the new ceasefire, putting the whole region on edge.
Trey Yingst is live in Tel Aviv with the very latest. Good morning, Trey. This is not good news.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. It's not good news. The Israeli military is currently striking the Gaza Strip.
Yeah, this is this is the ceasefire. They're blowing each other up.
Hamas violated the ceasefire agreement. I spoke with one military official who said 2 separate attacks took place inside Israeli-controlled territory. One of them an RPG attack and the other a sniper attack conducted by Hamas. Most of the strikes this morning have taken place in the southern Gazan city of Rafah, but there is at least one report of a strike in the northern part of the enclave. This was a difficult moment for Israeli forces, having to make a decision about whether or not to start striking Gaza again. We also understand at this moment that there are warnings from the U.S. State Department against Hamas.
You've been saying this all along. Hamas not going to give up their power. Well, there are a lot of people in the Israeli military, the IDF, and also in Hamas that they're and I think this is more so for Hamas because like they have to leave Palestine after Gaza after this is over, right? That's part of the agreement. So they don't want to give up what they have. I think that's it. And this is probably on both sides to an extent. A lot of these people like fighting the war. They like being in the war. They don't want it to be over because it being over means their position and their power is gone. That's it. It's their whole life. Yeah, this is their life. Like you got people like listening to you. You're making decisions. You're making money, etc. No, I don't. Yeah, they absolutely do. Yeah, 100%. War makes them money too. Well, it's more than that. It's like I think that for a lot of them, this is what. And this is. I'm not making this up. This is a recognized phenomenon. This happened after the Crusades. Fuck. I mean, like, it's not anything that's new at all. It happens after a lot of wars where you have soldiers that want to continue fighting because they've become so accustomed to it, and that's it. It's their life's work. Exactly. Yeah. War gives them purpose. Yeah. And this is a position of power and identity and everything. Yeah. Does it have a name? Well, they rename it all the time, but I mean, it's just... It depends on what you want to look at. What about Kid Crusades? That made no sense. I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, I mean, are you denying this obvious reality that I'm talking about that's been manifesting for thousands of years? Are we really going to talk about, is this the one time that it's not happening? Like, what are we doing here? It's obvious this is happening.
Overnight, a statement was released by the U.S. State Department saying, quote, the United States has informed the guarantor nations of the Gaza peace agreement of credible reports indicating an imminent ceasefire violation by Hamas against the people of Gaza. And so we're looking at 2 separate things here. Yeah. 1, an attack by Hamas overnight on Israeli forces within the Gaza Strip. And 2, a warning from the U.S. State Department that Hamas is planning to target Palestinian civilians or the forces that are currently opposing their rule inside Gaza.
Why would they do that? Well, I guess it's obvious why they would do that.
All of this comes as Hamas released the bodies of 2 additional hostages overnight.
I can understand why people don't like Israel, and I think it's very fair to like be critical and negative about Israel. But what I don't understand is why that same animosity isn't seemingly leveraged at Hamas. Like, it seems like all of the animosity and hostility is towards Israel and not Hamas. Like, they're both fucked up? Yeah, exactly. Like, I find that to be very problematic.
Do know the name of one of those hostages from a kibbutz in the southern part of Israel. His name is Ronen Engel, and Israeli authorities released his name overnight after informing his family. This means that there are still 16 bodies belonging to hostages inside Gaza. Those bodies are supposed to be released by Hamas as part of this agreement, and they've been trickling out so far since the agreement went into place.
Impression arc here, it's about punching down. People are addicted to punching themselves in the balls. Yeah, I mean, it's just like they think Israel equals white people, Hamas and Palestine are white, brown people. That's leftist logic. Yeah, it's very confusing to me about this. It's about how much people died. Naturally, people think higher kill count side is worse. It's not nuanced. Yeah, but I mean, like you can easily see that Hamas is bad too. I mean, I don't understand. I think that a lot of people just have a certain level of naivete whenever they're dealing with groups like this. Like a lot of these people do want a lot of these like crazy insurgency militaristic groups want this stuff to continue because it's their entire life. This is their entire life they do this.
Latest information that we have right now, Israeli forces are indeed striking the Gaza Strip. The military confirms to Fox News after they say Hamas violated the ceasefire agreement. Guys?
Trey, really quick. So when Hamas violated that agreement, and those rockets were shot over to Israel, were there civilians there? And then on the Israeli side, in their retaliation, are there civilians involved in that as well?
So we understand that Hamas violated the agreement by firing across the yellow line. This is the line that divides the Gaza Strip, where Israeli forces are currently in control and where Hamas is still in control. And according to this military official that I talked to, there were two separate attacks. One was an RPG attack, and the other was a sniper attack targeting Israeli forces within Gaza. The Israelis still control about 53% of the Gaza Strip as part of phase one of this agreement. If the ceasefire moves forward, they will pull back. But this yellow line will continue to be something that we talk about. Over the weekend, a Palestinian family was killed after an Israeli tank fired on their vehicle. Now, the Israelis say that vehicle crossed the yellow line in violation of the ceasefire, and after warning shots were fired, they targeted the vehicle. And so this yellow line...
Yeah, it's just awful. Do you think Hamas should be eradicated? I think that if it comes to that, yeah, I do think so. Hamas is a terrorist organization that martyrs their own people and is oppressive. It's an oppressive terrorist organization. They kill their own people. At the same time, I also don't want to get involved. So, like, basically, it's like, if you ask me, like, could you live, if you press a button and, like, you didn't have any Hamas, would I press the button? Like, yeah, of course I would, right? But would I want to pay billions of dollars of taxes in this? Like, maybe not. Like, it's fundamentally not an America problem, right? It's just not. It's not an America problem. Doesn't Israel do the same? People aren't asking me about Israel. Like, if every single time that people bring up criticisms of Hamas, that people keep bringing up Israel, that's not really a very good argument. It's just not. Like, yeah, obviously Hamas is problematic. I mean, like, it's not that complicated at all. Like, it's not. And so, anyway, my point is that, yeah, of course Hamas is bad. I mean, the best case scenario, in my opinion, is that they give them some way to just leave, go live somewhere else, and there's no war. It might not be fair because obviously a lot of these guys deserve probably to go on trial or be killed or something like that. But I think it's the cleanest and easiest thing that spares the most lives, right? So, like, if I had the capability to make a decision, that's what I would do, right? Is I would just say, like, okay, walk away, leave, live your life the way you want, but you can't stay here. How do you think Hamas came to life? I mean, the same way every other terrorist organization comes to life. I mean, there's like 50 different ways. I agree with you about Middle East involvement with Israel, but you don't live in a bubble of actions in Middle East oil. Yeah, sure, you're right. I mean, absolutely. Where would they go? Why would anyone take them in? That's not our problem. I mean, really, I don't know. Like, I mean, I have no idea. But, like, again, if you're a terrorist organization and you're blowing up and killing your own civilians and executing them publicly, at one, like, I mean, how is anybody bringing up, like, why is it that people can't just say, yeah, that's bad? That's obviously bad. It's obviously a bad thing, period. Like, why even bring up anything else besides that? It's obviously they're bad.
will continue to be a sticking point in the negotiations about where exactly the line is located. Of course, the Gaza Strip is around 30 miles long, and so it's very difficult to know the exact points along the enclave where Israeli forces are in control and where Hamas is in control. But the fact that Hamas has launched this blatant attack against Israeli forces is an indication that they are not adhering to the ceasefire agreement. To fire a rocket-propelled grenade and to conduct a sniper attack is a clear indication that Hamas still wants to fight inside Gaza. And Israeli forces have been very clear they will strike the Gaza Strip if Hamas violates the agreement. And already today, we understand, according to sources in Jerusalem, that Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is set to hold security consultations as a result of this Hamas ceasefire violation. And there could be further actions by the Israelis. And of course, we do expect more communication to the intermediaries to try and get this back on track from a diplomatic angle. We know that Vice President J.D. Vance and also U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff are scheduled to visit Israel this week.
I think any realistic person knows that this doesn't end well for Hamas no matter what. Right? I mean, we all know that. Like, if Hamas stays there, it's just going to cause Israel and America and the other countries in the area to either bomb them or allow them to be bombed. That's what's going to happen. One way or another. I was going to stop telling me that's topic. Was that dumbass? Was that way? Well, I don't look like a... What about this do I look like a dumbass on? Like, let me go back. We're going to pull somebody up. We'll see what's going on here. So what about this isn't true that I'm saying here? There is realistically no universe where Hamas maintains any level of control and any level of power in Gaza or Palestine. There is no universe where that happens. So the longer that they are there, the more people die. That's the reality. Now, you might not think that's fair, but you should recognize the truth of this. There's no comment. Obviously, no comment. There's never any comments about this. And, eradicate Hamas and don't let Israel occupy Gaza. It's that simple. Well, I'll see if this person's going to respond. Is there anything else that you're looking at here? Hamas is bad because you're looking into how it was created and how it was funded by Israel to survive. So then... Okay, so you agree, though, right? I mean, like, so what conclusion that I'm drawing? Like, why does it matter how Hamas was created? Hamas was voted in by people in, like, 2006 or something like that, right? By Palestinians? And then, like, even then the election was like, it was like a weird election. I'm like, what does that have to do with it? I mean, most of the people that are alive in Gaza, aren't most of the people in Gaza now under 18 anyway? So they weren't even alive for the election, and probably the majority of the ones that are over 18 probably weren't even voting in it. Like, it's not even an argument. Like, what does that even have to do with it? Like, yeah, this bad thing happened a long time ago. So what does that have to do with now? What conclusion is this? Is different here. Yeah, you can't fix the past. No, you can't. You can. I'll give this person one more response, and then we got to move on. Okay. Israel created Hamas to oppose Palestinian government. If Trump eradicates Hamas, Netanyahu just created another terrorist group. Well, you have to understand that, like, again, do you see there is no peace option with Hamas being in there controlling it? Like, if you don't understand that, you are delusional. You are absolutely delusional if you think that there will ever be peace with Hamas there. There's no response at all. And they're already terrorists. Yeah, they're already terrorists. I mean, there was no voting. Hamas killed and massacred Palestinians authorities who were ruling over the Strip. Well, even if there was, what I'm saying is that the people there don't even have any accountability for that anyway. So the point is that, like, if they're fighting and continuing this, all they're doing is ensuring the death of more of their people. Whether you think this is right or wrong or anything else, this is an inevitable reality. They are in a losing position. They have almost no allies. Elban. Well, somebody telling me that I'm stupid, I don't know what I'm talking about. If you're not going to explain anything, then that's it. Your solution is to remove the result, that soil caused the problem there. What do you think this, like, I mean, again, your solution, what is the solution? To let Hamas stay there? That's obviously not going to happen. It's clearly not going to happen. Everybody knows that. Like, I mean, again, there's too many people that think like that they're so idealistic, and there's so much of a it's like suicidal idealism. That's not true. It's not what's going to happen.
And they're going to be discussing how to keep this ceasefire in place and ensure that it doesn't collapse.
So, Trey, let's step back for a second. Do we have any indication that something led up to this? Did we see this coming? And also, has Hamas officially said anything about why they're doing this?
They have not. They have talked on propaganda channels on Telegram and other messaging sites that they use to release propaganda, confirming that they are launching attacks against forces inside Gaza that oppose their rule. And we saw last week those horrific execution videos of Hamas killing civilians they claimed that stole aid or were working with the Israelis. As for the attacks on Israeli forces, this isn't surprising. In the past, when there have been ceasefire in place and agreements that were reached, not only during this war, but previous wars that we have covered, Hamas has violated the agreement because they want to continue the fight against Israel. And oftentimes they'll do it in these very small ways, single attacks here and there. But what the Israeli military wants to do is set a precedent, a red line. And so if any of these attacks happen, according to officials that we've spoken with, they will immediately respond because they want a level of deterrence. The issue here is if this spirals out of control and the ceasefire collapses, because Hamas understands they no longer have the leverage of living hostages, but
they never did. And I think that the real leverage they lost is the fact that the other countries were united against them now. And they don't have any allies. There is no happy ending for Hamas. Like, one way or another, they're dead. That's it. Like, whether you think this is right or wrong, that's the way it is. Israel has overwhelming, massive amounts of force. They have the go-ahead, the passive go-ahead from a lot of the other countries in the area to do whatever they need to do, probably to wipe them out. America will support them. They're cooked. It's over. The fact that they're shooting rockets in and doing this, all they're doing is signing their own people up to get martyred. That's it. Always be careful of a cornered animal. Most animals, after they get cornered, get captured and killed.
Still do have the bodies of 16 others.
That's why you corner them.
Hamas has not ever acted in good faith when it comes to these negotiations, and they have often violated ceasefire agreements. And so this isn't a surprising moment. It's a moment that the Israeli military prepared for. There are contingency plans in place. There is still drone monitoring over the Gaza Strip and the ability for the Israeli Air Force to strike Gaza. But it is certainly concerning from a diplomatic level, because the Trump administration wants this ceasefire to move forward. They want the war to be over. And it is very challenging with Hamas still in control of just under half of the Gaza Strip, because they are now controlling the streets of Gaza in the areas that they are still operating in. There are gunmen in the streets. They are executing their opponents.
Jesus.
And as we saw early this morning, they are now launching new attacks on Israeli forces.
Wow.
So, Trey, you've been covering this from the beginning, and you've been covering these conflicts for many years now. What is your sort of gut feeling? Does this feel like something that is about to completely unravel, or is there still some hope that this might be a skirmish and that they might get back to the original ceasefire?
So I can tell you what's happening behind the scenes right now. Not only Israeli officials, but likely American officials, Egyptian officials, and Qatari officials are speaking every hour to try to get this back on track. The challenging part here, having covered this region all the way back to the war in 2014, is that Hamas is an organization that's very challenging to control. They don't operate in the way that a normal state would operate, or even a paramilitary
What a
group.
surprise.
This is a terrorist organization. And so even if their officials in Qatar or in Turkey or even inside the Gaza Strip say they're willing to adhere to the ceasefire agreement, it's a splintered organization that
exactly. I mean, like, you're going to have, the thing is that you probably have all kinds of people inside of the organization that want different things. And I bet that's probably what's happening. Like Antifa, like, I mean, kind of. Like, it's not the same thing, but it's like kind of a vague comparison where you have like a group like this. There's not complete top-down leadership. So, of course, this is going to happen. Obviously, it's going to happen.
Fighting with guerrilla tactics.
Yep.
And so they can easily launch attacks in different locations to try to pressure Israeli forces that are inside Gaza. And the fear here is
Hamas
that this
like
unravels
50
into a
subgroups?
broader ceasefire violation by Hamas, and then the war resumes, and that there's pressure on the Israelis to basically continue the war. Remember, Hamas agreed to disarm. They agreed to lay down their weapons. And I asked President Trump about this in our interview last week, and he said he still expects Hamas to adhere to the agreement. The challenging part here is if they don't lay down their weapons and they continue to fire on Israeli forces inside Gaza, the war is going to resume. And so that's the negotiating part. That's what comes next. There will be consultations that take place not only today, but into next week with Egyptian and Qatari officials to try to send a message to Hamas that's very simple. The war will resume if you don't lay down your weapons and stop these attacks on Israeli forces. They still do have a small arsenal of weapons inside Gaza, and as they've shown today, they're willing to use them.
Yeah. Really a fragile situation with a lot of breaking news.
Yeah, I don't see how anybody thinks that this isn't going to end with them being gone. Like, I don't even know why they're trying to do this. It's just, again, you're all going to be martyrs. And Israel has an overwhelming military force. There's no win condition here. There's nothing you're going to do. You're just, at best, you're just getting more of your own people killed. There's literally no way that they come out ahead.
At this hour, Trey Yings, thanks for getting up for us. Please keep us posted. We will bring you back.
Are you taking Israel's word for who started this again? Who cares who started it? What if Israel started it? It doesn't matter. It's still true. They should, every day that they stay there armed with their military is a day that more people will probably get killed. It's inevitable. They can't win. They won't win. It's not even close to winning. They don't even have a chance. What are they doing?
As news warrants, Trey Yings live in Tel Aviv.
Thanks, Trey.
Thanks, Trey.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And okay, Ukraine, you should have laid down arms long ago. Well, they don't have to because they have the U.S. and the EU supporting them. Right? Like, did you ever, I understand, that might be, I'm going to just ban you for that because it's one of those, okay, I'm going to misunderstand this on purpose in order to try to get, I'm going to be, I've got a little smart comment, right? The Hamas Hamas is the same as Ukraine. It's just ridiculous. Number one. And number two, it's not even true. Yeah, Hamas can't and won't win, but what if they refuse to lose? What do you think happens whenever they refuse to lose? Really, what do you think that the actual outcome for that is? Because I know what the outcome is. Everybody knows what the outcome is. I don't know why people are there's some sort of, I don't know really what this is. This is a mass delusion that people have. It's. Yeah, how do you find the energy to deal with retards like this who deliberately try to misunderstand you? It doesn't really matter to me. Yeah, I don't really think about it. So you're saying genocide's okay? What? What are you talking about? I'm telling you what I think is going to happen. That's what I think is going to happen, is that if they don't disarm, Israel is just going to keep bombing them until they're effectively gone. That's what's going to happen. There's nothing that's going to stop this. All of the other countries in the area have effectively okayed this by signing the agreement that Hamas needed to disarm. They're not disarming. They're going to get bombed. That's what's going to happen. That it doesn't matter what you think the right thing is. You can debate that on Reddit all you want, but that is the bottom line. That's the reality. And until they do that, more people will die. That's it. I don't know what else even to say. I feel like it's actually just that simple, isn't it?